In this video, we will review how to create a bill. A bill is a document you receive from one of your vendors which requests payment for a service or product. In order to create a bill, you do have a few different options, but the way that I like to create bills is going directly to the vendor profile first. That way I can review any of the vendor activity. This helps me prevent paying bills multiple times, or maybe I'm past due or I have a credit available. So that's why I always like to go and look at the activity for that particular vendor first before I start creating the bill. In order to navigate to that section, I would select Get Paid and Pay. Go down to the Vendors section, and then select the vendor in question. From here, I would be able to see any previous expenses or invoices that I may have paid this vendor. Since there's nothing that's outstanding, I can be sure that I'm not duplicating any payment to this particular vendor. Then what I would want to do is on the top right-hand side, select New Transaction and add in a bill. When you have the bill, you do want to make sure you are adding in a bill number. Most of the time, the document will have some type of unique identifying number. This is really, really helpful when you pay a person the same amount every single month, and it just really helps with that duplication process. So I'm just going to add in a bill number here. Then in the category, this is where we would choose the same category type that we would choose if we were categorizing it directly on the bank feed. You can see I already have multiple options that are appearing, or I can start typing the account and it will filter my options based on what I'm typing. I also can add in a description. So 4 hours worked in October. I can say $400. So sometimes you want to make sure you have a description that is identifiable. That way, if you're looking at this bill in 6 months to a year, you will be able to know what this is for just from the reports. And we also have the ability to add an attachment. So from here, we can click the Save button. We have a whole bunch of different options. We can click Save and Close, Save and New. In this case, I'm just going to click that Save button. And then I have the option, I can use QBO to process the payment for me, or I can pay it myself via check, Zelle, transfer, however you would normally pay your vendors. And I can click Mark as Paid. And now this is the item that would match to the bank feed. Again, we want to be very, very careful about the bank that's being pre-populated. In this case, it's suggesting the business savings account. I actually want to make sure I'm using the business checking account because that's where most of my payments will come from. If I didn't do that, all of my bill payments would have been going to the wrong bank account. So when the activity actually came through, QuickBooks would not identify the match. It would think it was totally different. And then I would probably just add that directly and start categorizing it instead of matching it to my bill payment. So we want to be just very, very careful that we're using the correct bank account and then also the correct payment date. Those are definitely really good practice items to review before you click that Save button. Then I'm going to click Save and Close. And now when I record the payment on the bank, it should match up completely.